I'm Aaron. I am the proprietor, photographer for Fairbanks Aurora Tours. I just got back from a night of chasing. On the screen here, you can see photos. I've just imported them to my Lightroom catalog. I want to show you how I develop a RAW file in Lightroom, and I'm going to go ahead and immediately post it on social media afterwards. So it's a very nice night. You can see these previews, like a lot of rainbow aurora is what I'd say. So I'm going to try to find one of these rainbow aurora shots. First, you kind of got to determine which one you want to do. I'm going to click on, so I'm kind of just exploring the photos. These are just the plain rendering of the computer. This one may be good. It's kind of cool. You can see some of the tundra zooming in on here, and you can see the colors in it. I bet we can really bring that out in a final photo, which could be great. And you got the rainbow aurora here. So this one's definitely a possibility. Looking back at these thumbnails, let's go back and where's our button for thumbnails? I forget. Library grid. Okay, click on that. Maybe this guy here. There's some nice red in there. And then this one's actually kind of fun too. It's got the tour vehicle in it with the Aurora over here. It's got some of the folks who are on the tour back here, but kind of looks cool, but I think I like the more natural ones better. Here you got fog off this mountainside rolling around, which looks really neat. I think this is it. I like this one. I like the slope of the hill a little bit more here. And yeah, let's go ahead and do this one. So first thing I'm going to do for me, make sure we go to the develop module. I'm going to hit Aurora Standard. That's a preset. But all I'm doing when I click Aurora Standard here is that's going to go ahead and apply my noise control for high ISO noise reduction. Color at 125 here on luminance. And then that went ahead and it just applied this. It's just a little easier for me. And you can set yours up however you want. I personally really have a strong preference for 4x8. Sorry, not 4x8. A little tired here. Like I said, that's your 4x5 crop. And so let's see what we want. I think this actually works. Putting the top third on this main bed of Aurora. We got Jupiter over here, which will be on the right third. Let's take a look at that. I like it, but let's play around with a few more. What if we brought it down? This is really nice in terms of the tundra, maybe, but it clips the Aurora a little bit. So I'm looking at the histogram here and just looking at the image. It looks underexposed. Let's see how the tundra starts coming out with a little more exposure. The tundra looks good. It's not in focus because I was focused on the Aurora, but it's reasonably in focus from about this point out, from about here and out, and so forth out here. Good focus on that. So I brought the brightness up. We're not going to do anything here yet, not highlights or anything yet. I want to actually mess with the clarity, see how that. Yeah, you see that's really making the lichen from the tundra here, and you can see the fall colors pop. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep that. I like that. But I think because the bottom is out of focus here, let's go ahead and change this and pull it back up so we got a little more sky. We're just clipping the out of focus for more sky. I think I like that. It's getting pretty bright. Let's mess with the highlights and see if we can see the Aurora better. Maybe that looks okay bright. That contrast, I do not like what the contrast is doing to the tundra, but I kind of like what it's doing to the sky. So I'm going to experiment here. Might undo this, but I just want to create a layer of the sky and see if we plug in a little contrast, if that's helpful. I like it. Okay, this image doesn't need a whole lot more. This is almost done, but yeah, I like that. A little cooler white balance in this one. And I bet you if we add a little pink, I'm worried about adding it now to the tundra, making it look weird. Actually, I think that looks fine on the tundra, but now the sky's too pink. So let's just add a little bit more. I think that's helping to bring out the reds in this aurora here. Jupiter still looks normal. I almost thought that was a moose or something there for a second on the hillside. So this is looking good. I really like this photo. It's not the best composition of the night. I think I had better compositions like down here in this photo. A hot pixel. No, that's not a nice reflection there, but the aurora was dying out later. We had lots of good clear sky that we were able to find. You got the Milky Way where I'm circling here in this photo. Check a couple of these, see if, you know, if we were going to edit these, we'd be really editing to try to bring out that Milky Way. Sometimes you got to bring a mask. That bush was looking funny to me, that's why I zoomed in on it. A little bit of a reflection shot down there. Ooh, I like this one too. We got some purple and red. We got the green. We got that cloud rolling around on the mountain. So let's apply this here. Take a look at this one. The Big Dipper framed in it. Messing with the white balance here just a little bit. Pulling that to a cooler state. We definitely want to make sure that that cloud looks white-ish, you know, by the time we're done. I'm going to pull up the overall brightness again. I'm trying to bring the tundra up, even though the sky's getting pretty bright there. And I'm going to go ahead and pull in a mask for the sky and pull that down a little bit because it's getting too bright. Let's just try the highlight, see if that makes it more easily viewable for us. Maybe a little bit of white. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some contrast on that. And I am looking to add some clarity to it. I really like what clarity usually does. Let's try doing that universally to the whole. Yeah, I like the way this is looking here. I think let's put the top of that mountain right on the third. That's a good spot to do it. Which one do I like more? This one or this one? You know what? No, I like this one more. I do. I like the white balance here better on the tundra. This is 4000. Let's tweak this a little more. Yeah, the tundra looks more natural. I think pulling that white balance down, but now the aurora is kind of a weird color that doesn't look natural. The lichen in real life, when you see it in sunlight, I don't know how many see lichen here. It's usually a really mild, like teal-ish greenish color. That's what all these lighter splotches are here on the tundra. This is stuff caribou eat for a lot of the winter. So that's good, but I don't like the sky. So let's go back to the sky. And what I want to do is just warm up that aurora to more of the natural green that you get in it. Maybe that. And I'm going to try universally upping the brightness just a little more to bring up the tundra. What would a dehaze do here? Nope, that's not looking good. Let's not dehaze it. Okay, let's go back to our sky. I think we need to pull down our highlights a little bit. It's getting, especially right here, right? A little too bright. I like it. I think I like the shot here. You can, when you shoot your shots, you can order, do more than one. But I like this one. I got the mountain in the background. This kind of, when we zoom in all the way like this, we could go even what's a bit more. This uniformness of the color. This is graininess, and that's what will change if you mess with. Here, let me find it. The manual noise reduction. Right, we could actually pump this up higher, and you see how that mostly went away, but it is at a cost. It'll degrade overall image quality. So you see how like creamy everything is now, and you're losing the detail on the lichen. So just if we look at this lichen, let me pull this down and show you. Go back to, there's 12, and you can see the detail so much better, but you have more of that noise, so it's a trade-off. How much detail do you want to give up? So 25 is usually a good spot. Go away, add. .25 is usually quite good, but there's another option here. This is new within the last year or so. You can do denoise here, and this is like an AI denoise rather than the traditional Lightroom algorithm. We don't need it here. I'm probably going to undo it, but I just want to show you for illustration purposes that it's, you just saw that apply there. Pretty nice, but this also did 50, and it was comparing to 25. So in apples to apples, you'd actually have to pull it down to 25. And this is, I think it's doing a better job on this photo. A lot of times you can't tell the difference, but actually I think it's helping to pull out some of the colors. I'm going to keep this. It's helping to pull out like that more orange and some of these bushes on the tundra versus the lichen versus the fall reds. I really like that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, that's, yeah, I do like that. I'm going to mess with vibrance. I'm just doing it universally, but really I'm wanting to see if it helps pull out the colors of the fall here. Nope, this now looks like cheese. Very cheesy, very bad. It is kind of pulling out some of these colors, but there may be a way that we can do this a little bit. And what I'm thinking of is using this color mixer. And let's see. And I'm sliding this back and forth. So this is actually not coded as a red up here. I was looking at the Aurora, but what about down here? Is this affecting that? Yes, it is. Okay, so some of that bush is getting on the reds. Probably this one here too. Yep, and that means you can take that red and you could actually make it more pink or more orange. And what I was actually thinking before is up the saturation. So let's looking at that tundra here, desaturated red, saturated. It is making a bit of difference. So let's just pump it up a little bit. It doesn't seem to be affecting our Aurora. Let's go ahead and do the same with orange. Overall, let's see if, nope, look at that Aurora up there. That's getting heavily messed by orange, and so are a bunch of these bushes. So that will mess up our Aurora. I don't want to do that. Let's check the yellow. Definitely big impact on the landscape. But you know what? Although it would be nice to take the time to tweak this and get these colors to pop a little bit more, I'm pretty happy with how they are. I do want to experiment with applying a little more or less of that AI noise reduction. Let's take back up to 50 where it was. Looks fantastic if you ask me. I like this photo. I really like the mountain. I like Jupiter in the scene. I like the way these clouds look. I like this photo. I think this is it. We're going to call this our winner chicken dinner and slap it online. Any rate, so this guy is done. I'm just going to add a watermark signature in the corner and post it online, export it as a JPEG, and it's good. So here we are. Here's a finished product.